In this video, we're going to talk about Girl with a Red Hat, painted by Johannes Vermeer around 1669. It's at the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. In Girl with a Red Hat, Vermeer multi-referenced the artist Lucas Cranach the Elder, and I'm going to show you pictures by Lucas Cranach next to the Girl with a Red Hat, and I'm going to point out some references. And I'm not going to show you all the artwork of Lucas Cranach, but a few examples. You can see more work by Lucas Cranach on the Wikimedia Commons website. The first painting by Cranach that I want to show you is Portrait of a Young Man with a Beard and a Red Beret, painted in 1521 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Staatsliches Museum Schwerin in Germany. The red hat worn by the man with a beard, in the same color red as Vermeer's girl's red hat, and also at a tilted angle, is the big breadcrumb or obvious clue that Johannes Vermeer is multi-referencing Lucas Cranach the Elder, in my opinion. The Cranach painting of Young Man with a Beard has his head at almost the same angle of view as Vermeer's girl. The man with a beard wears a curved necklace of beads, and Vermeer painted a curve with a row of bead shapes just to the left of the girl's red hat. The thumb and three fingers of the bearded man's right hand makes three short finger shapes, which is repeated in the chair post in the lower right corner of Vermeer's painting. Next, we look at Johann Friedrich the Magnanimous, painted in 1531 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Louvre Museum in Paris. Johann wears a hat at a tilted angle, like the girl with the red hat. The angle of view of Johann Friedrich the Magnanimous's face is close to the angle of view of Vermeer's girl, a quarter view, halfway between looking at the viewer's head on and looking directly to the side in profile. The red object on Johann's necklace has a curve which is repeated in the top of the red hat worn by the Vermeer's girl. The black stripes on Johann's sleeve and shirt is referenced by the dark line of the top of the chair on the bottom edge in the right corner of Vermeer's painting. The next painting is Nativity, painted around 1515 to 1520 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Gemäldegalerie Alte Meister in Dresden, Germany. Mary, kneeling and praying, has her face at the same angle to the viewer as Vermeer's girl. Lucas Cranach painted a rounded light brown shape in the lower right corner, and Vermeer referenced this shape with the wood chair upright in the lower right corner of Girl with a Red Hat. The two paintings share an overall composition, as the dark shadow behind Joseph is referenced by Vermeer and the girl's head and her hat. Chair uprights referencing the tree on the left and the Cranach shape in the lower right-hand corner are similar. The Nativity has a curved shape inside a round blue oval in the upper left corner, and Vermeer referenced a curved shape to the left of the hat in the upper left corner of Girl with a Red Hat. Next, we look at Portrait of Johannes Cuspinian, painted in 1502 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Museum Collection am Romerholz in Winterthur, Switzerland. Both figures have the angle of view of their faces similar and are both wearing red hats. This picture would make me check other artworks by Lucas Cranach the Elder to see if Vermeer is multi-referencing Cranach the Elder, because it reminds me so much of Girl with a Red Hat. Johannes Cuspian's white shirt makes sharp angles pointed down, and Vermeer painted a white sharp angle pointed down in the cloth in front of the girl's neck and upper chest in Girl with a Red Hat. The next painting we'll look at here in comparison is Saint Dorothea, the left wing of St. Catherine's altar, painted in 1506 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's also at the Gemäldegalerie Alte Meister in Dresden, Germany. Both paintings have a young woman as the main subject in the picture, and St. Dorothea has her face at the same angle of view as Vermeer's girl. The tree with the narrow angle pointing down in the upper right corner of the Lucas Cranach painting has a similar shape as the shadow pointing down, which is to the right of the girl in the Vermeer's painting. The round white puffs of fabric near St. Dorothea's elbows is referenced with light brown round shapes on either side of the girl with the red hat. The hand reaching up from the bottom edge of the right side is referenced by Vermeer's right chair upright on the bottom edge on the right side. Same location. Next we look at Madonna and Child with Grapes, painted around 1525 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Alte Pinakothek in Munich. The Madonna's face is at the same angle of view again of the girl with the red hat. The velvety dark red mountain under the angel in the upper left corner of the Cranach painting is referenced by Vermeer with the velvety red hat, also on the left side, with a rounded point. The notch on the light blue mountains in the upper right corner of Madonna and Child with Grapes is referenced by the notch on the right side of the red hat in Vermeer's painting. The round grapes are similar to the round shapes in the lion head carvings on Vermeer's chair uprights along the bottom of the painting. The blue cloth on the Madonna's legs has a shape and color like the blue jacket worn by Vermeer's girl. This next painting is the Princesses Sibylla, Emilia, and Sidonia of Saxony, painted around 1535 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Kunsthistorisches Museum in Vienna. 2 out of 3 of the princesses look at the viewer with the same quarter angle of their faces as the girl with the red hat. The middle princess is also wearing a red hat, and her orange-brown right sleeve has a shape like the background in Vermeer's right side next to the girl. The feather hat of the princess on the far right has thin, dark, curved spines on the feathers, and Vermeer references this curved shape in the same light brown pillow shape just to the right of Vermeer's girl. Next is Duke Henry the Pious, painted around 1514 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Gemäldegalerie Alte Meister in Dresden, Germany. The Duke wears a red and white hat at a different angle, but I still think it would be considered a reference that they're both wearing red hats. The dog's white curved tail in the left edge of Duke Henry the Pious painting is like Vermeer's round handle shapes in the top of the Vermeer painting in the background, on the upper left. Cranach's white dog has its head like the rounded pillow shape just to the right of the girl with the red hat in Vermeer's painting. The red lower legs of the Duke is referenced by the red hat itself in Vermeer's painting. The Duke's black rectangular sword sheath has a shape and color like the top of the backrest of Vermeer's chair in the bottom edge of the girl with the red hat painting. Next, we look at Portrait of Joachim II of Brandenburg as Prince Elector, painted around 1520 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Prussian Palaces and Gardens Foundation in Berlin-Brandenburg. Again, we have the same facial angle and also wearing a red hat. The curved blade of Joachim's axe is referenced by the handle shape in the upper left corner of Vermeer's painting. The pelvic area of the Prince Elector has a dark vertical rounded top, like the 3 dark shapes above Vermeer's red hat on the girl. Next we look at Cardinal Albrecht of Brandenburg as Saint Jerome, painted in 1527 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Gemäldegalerie in Berlin. The cardinal stares at the viewer with the same angle of his face and is again wearing a red hat. The oval rounded red hat hanging in the left side of the Cranach painting, kind of a coin shape, is referenced by the rounded large ear shape in the background just to the left of Vermeer's ear of the girl. Perhaps the shape of the ear in larger size is making an allegory that the girl's hearing skills are amplified, or her awareness is amplified. The lion sleeping at the bottom of Lucas Cranach's painting is referenced by the lion heads on the top of the chairs at the bottom of Vermeer's painting. The vertical post of the cross where Jesus is being crucified is repeated in the narrow vertical line in the background of Vermeer's painting, and both of these thin verticals are in the same location. And the last painting we'll compare with Girl with the Red Hat is Portrait of a Woman, painted in 1526 by Lucas Cranach the Elder. It's at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. Here, Cranach's girl has a mirror image face and hat angle, both sporting hats which are probably at the height of fashion for the time. The pleated dress worn by Lucas Cranach's girl is referenced by the evenly spaced curved vertical lines on the bed behind the chair upright in the lower right-hand corner of Vermeer's painting. The curves of the red shirt of Portrait of a Woman's chest and the curtain behind her are repeated in the dark and red curves at the bottom of Vermeer's red hat at the bottom curved edge on the left and right sides. Johannes Vermeer is sure to multi-reference more artists than just Lucas Cranach the Elder in Girl with the Red Hat. And the nice thing about the 17th century is it's much easier to look for other artists than it is in the 19th or 20th century when there are so many more artists. I also have a free newsletter where I talk about more tools for understanding and creating masterworks of art. I hope you subscribe. Thank you for watching.